that, let's come to Sanjay Gandhi, the excesses, which, as you see, of course, the astrologers had a magical, again, a deep influence on the Gandhi family. I don't know even today.
Yeah.
But Sanjay Gandhi
Yeah.
definitely was extra constitutional power, as we know, from his actions and also in the history.
Oh, yes, absolutely. 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 In fact, right from the 1970s, he became a law unto himself, starting with the Maruti project, when Indira Gandhi's advisors, P.N. Haksar, Lakshmi Chand Jain, and C. Subramaniam, and others totally advised her to that Sanjay Gandhi's Maruti project was very, very irregular. He got rid of them. He made enemies out of Indira Gandhi's most seasoned and sober advisors like P.N. Haksar and C. Subramaniam and others. He wanted to seize power himself and be the dictator. And he was totally calling the shots from about 1973 onwards.
Okay.
And Indira Gandhi was aware of this, but she really did not do much she looked the other way as the reports came to her of his excesses and his irregularities. And in fact, she wanted to give a facade that everything was normal and everything was legal. So one of the reasons why Pranab Mukherjee was brought in was to clean up the books of Maruti, to ensure that on paper, at least, everything looked of Maruti's affairs looked okay. But public sector banks were put under great pressure to give loans to Maruti, to give loans to Sanjay Gandhi's capitalist cronies. Certainly, he was doing a lot of business activities which were not completely legal.
Okay, so you mean to say he was the real extra, the excess part, you can credit it to Sanjay Gandhi, and Mrs. Gandhi looked the other way, as you said. But there were people like your father who were Gandhians with Mrs. Gandhi. One just wonders how they tolerated that system, the emerging system, and they were still there. What do you think? What was your father's responses?
Yeah, see, all these people, they were all brought into government by Jawaharlal Nehru personally. My father, from 1957 onwards, Gopal P.N. Haksar, G. Parthasarathi, Gopalaswamy Parthasarathi, N.K. Seshan, they were all direct appointees of Jawaharlal Nehru as part of his personal set of advisors. And they were brought in from the private sector into government. P.N. Haksar was an England-educated barrister, was at the Allahabad High Court when Jawaharlal Nehru appointed him into the Foreign Service. So all of them were really aghast at how Sanjay Gandhi was subverting the ideals of his grandfather. And my father, H.Y. Sharda Prasad and P.N. Dhar, they wanted to resign, and N.K. Seshan. So they offered their resignations to Indira Gandhi, but Indira Gandhi flatly refused to accept their resignations, saying that the nation needs your services. So they all went to P.N. Haksar, Gopalaswamy Parthasarathi, my father, N.K. Seshan and P.N. Dhar had a series of meetings where my father, P.N. Dhar and Seshan wanted to resign. And P.N. Haksar said, no, you must not resign under any circumstances. We must all stay within the system and prevent further deterioration. Because if you are not there, then there will be nobody left to curb the power of Sanjay Gandhi and his set of goons, which is Sanjay Gandhi, Bansilal, Om Mehta, and R.K. Dhawan and all. They will just ride roughshod. They will do whatever they like. The nation, the nation will suffer greatly. So it was P.N. Haksar who said we must not resign under any circumstances. We must all stay within the system and fight Sanjay Gandhi and his group of people from within. Because outside the government, he said, we will all feel morally superior. Our consciences will be clear, but there will be nobody left who will be able to counter Sanjay Gandhi. And if we are not there,
that brings me to the resistance. There was a resistance, underground and overground resistance, when opposition party leaders, including Jayaprakash Narain, was arrested and put in jail. The underground was led by Joe Fernandez. Overground was, various groups had their thing. What do you think did they make any difference to the 2 years of dictatorial regime?
Well, the groups that steadfastly opposed the emergency totally, one were the Shiromani Akali Dal, and the second were the socialists. Because even when Chandrasekhar was one of Indira Gandhi's closest advisors. In fact, in 1969, he was the one who helped her through the Congress party split. And again, Chandrasekhar was the political heir of Jayaprakash Narain. And when the Allahabad High Court verdict came out, it was Chandrasekhar who was the most vociferous in telling her that she should resign. So it was the Congress party, the Young Turks within the Congress party, whom she targeted, as well as the other socialist parties outside, such as George Fernandez and the other socialist groups, Raj Narayan, George Fernandez. Those were the ones who were very, very steadfastly against the emergency. The RSS was very, very split. It spoke in three voices. Some parts of the RSS were actually admired Sanjay Gandhi greatly because he shared the same values as them. They saw the RSS, many of the RSS saw in Sanjay Gandhi a kindred spirit, somebody who shared their ideology. And in fact, they were praising him as the next Lee Kuan Yew. In the initial stages of the emergency, K.S. Sudarshan delivered a speech at Vilaypattu, highly praising the emergency. And in fact, most of the Nagpur top brass, the main part of the RSS which joined Jayaprakash Narain were the UP people, Nanaji Deshmukh and others. But Atal Bihari Vajpayee was not interested in joining hands. Many of the Nagpur, the top brass of Nagpur, the RSS, did not want to associate with Jayaprakash Narain. First, because he had used very harsh words against the RSS from the 1940s. And secondly, Jayaprakash Narain's strategy of strikes and gheraos went against the image of discipline that the RSS wanted to project. And in fact, it was the RSS core base of small businessmen, traders who were hit the most by Jayaprakash Narain's strategy of strikes and gheraos.
Okay.
And so Bala Saheb Devras did not, who was the Sarsanga Chalak, he was very, very clear that he did not want to have anything to do with Jayaprakash Narain. But it was Nanaji Deshmukh whom actually Jayaprakash Narain came under the grip of Nanaji Deshmukh, and that actually was the trigger point for Indira Gandhi to decide that enough is enough, a strong crackdown is needed. Now, whether that crackdown would have taken the form of the emergency or not is a matter of debate. According to my father, in fact, my father, Fali Nariman, told me some time ago that my father had told him that if Indira Gandhi had a better understanding of constitutional law and constitutional history, she would not have declared the emergency in the first place. And my father said, if you had not resigned, but if you had stayed in the system, Indira Gandhi had got brainwashed by Siddharth Shankar Ray. And my father told Fali Nariman, you could have prevented her being brainwashed by Siddharth Shankar Ray. You could have